Thank you, Jody Siegel. Let's give Jody Siegel some more love. That's a wonderful way to just kind of come into today's discussion. And I want to share that in this very moment, my body has the jitters. Like there's some energy. You too, huh? Yeah, my body has some jitters. I can make that mean anything that I want it to mean. Right now, I just want it to mean that it's God shaking the truth out of me. Good morning and welcome. I'm no stranger to this community, and the love, energy that I'm feeling in this moment is so palpable. Now, this month, we've had, 4 speakers, one each Sunday, talking about the body. Are you tired yet of hearing about your body? At first, I started getting tired about it because I speak every week in my own center and here and in other places, and it's just like, when are we going to move on? It's just like the body, the body, the body. And yet, I'm so grateful for the infinite wisdom and the pace in which we get an opportunity to actually explore and discover some hidden gems each and every week. How many of you have had the opportunity to buy a new car? Maybe by a show of hands, right? I know that last week Reverend Bobby talked about getting a new camper and those, and learning how to use it. And when we get a new car, or how many of you have bought a new phone, a new gadget, right? Now, in that first day, do you know how to use it? No. Do you know all the programs and ways and shortcuts and tricks about the phone or about a car? No. And really, I've had this phone for over a year and I'm still learning. I'm still learning and discovering some things that I didn't know before. It's amazing. And yet how amazing these little gadgets are in our hands, they are nowhere as near as amazing as our bodies. And too many times in spiritual communities like these, we've been told that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And the truth is that we are divinely human, that there is no separation, that when you see me, you see the unique, unrepeatable way that God is showing up in human form. And the same is true about you, that when I behold you, I am looking at the body of God. I am looking at the manifestation of Spirit itself. Therefore, the infinite intelligence that is living Spirit, that is God, that is love, that is all that is created, everything out of itself, is right where you are. So, of course, you don't even know how to use and access everything that our bodies offer. I know that during the last few weeks, the body remembers our dynamic bodies, that we're one. That in all of that, the discovery is that it is one body, many parts. Thank you, Wenda. I think she went back to be with our children, with our youth. And how grateful I am that today we got a chance to do this body scan and just recognize and pick out our favorite body part. Place that we're going to love up. But are you aware that within you, all of your body parts, every single cell, every organ, every function is communicating at such a high level of intelligence that it can be measured sometimes with electrocardiograms, heart monitors, EEGs, all kinds of things. That the body is constantly in motion and constantly communicating. The question is do you speak the language of your own body? And some of us at this age, we might be like, hey, I've been around this planet for a little bit. Yeah, come with me, please. I've been on this planet for a little bit. I'm over the body. You know, like, hey, I'm waiting for the great by and by. You know, however many years I got left, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to use it. All right. And yet, studies show that people who are engaged in community live longer than people who are isolated. So for our beloveds on Zoom, if you can get here if you can. Get in community, get involved. Begin to recognize the language that your body is speaking and stop ignoring the body. Many of us in our childhood, many of us in our teenage years, adult lives have endured traumas and stress. That stuff, as we learned a few weeks ago, is still living in our bodies unaddressed. And it's saying, let me out. Let me out. God communicates as our bodies. I want to talk about the affirmation that's for today. The affirmation today is, I listen to my body knowing it is speaking as God. Notice that little word as. My body is not speaking to God, in God, through God. It is speaking as God. God is speaking to the you that is you, the personhood that is occupying this particular body. God is speaking as God, as your body. And to the degree in which we continue to ignore the messages that our body gives us, it is that degree in which we're simply not living the life as God that God has intended for us to be and live. We think, oh, it's just this little ache. Oh, it's just this little pain. Listen to it. What is it telling you? What is it that you must release? And most of the time, the pain body, the body in the pain, the discomfort, is because we're holding on to things that we no longer need to hold on to. But we're walking around here like we're these spiritual beings and that we're elevated, putting on a facade and a face as if we're so spiritual and that everything is fine and okay. Yet we're ignoring the body temple. That is not spiritual living, beloveds. That is spiritual bypass. And today, whoa, I can feel it coming. I'm getting so excited about it because it's time for us to awaken to the body temple, to the message of the body temple, because it is speaking to us, and we get to understand that language by simply tapping in through our prayer, through our meditation, through our sacred service, through listening, and through forgiveness. We must forgive. And a lot of us are thinking, oh, I've forgiven, I've let that go. But have we really? When was the last time somebody irked you? You know, it might even be that person who sleeps with you. It might even be that person, who comes in and who's the practitioner or the minister or whoever, and it's just like, oh, I just can't stand when they say that. Oh, they just irk me. They just rub me the wrong way. It's your body. That's your issue. That is something for you to address and to be with. Because to the degree in which we continue to ignore these things, they continue to fester and to grow. They continue to accumulate and clump and cause dis-ease. That's all that word is I'm no longer at ease. Why? Because the way you wear your hair, the way you burp, the way you say hello irks me. And I have not practiced forgiveness. So that's pretty funny, huh? Right? I'm speaking truth, right? We laugh because it's the truth. But yet we walk around and I'm a practitioner. I'm a minister. I'm a spiritual community member. I'm spiritual. It's all good. And I get it that in these spiritual communities, we're told to fake it until we make it, but we get to be honest in that as well. And go, wow, I'm really uncomfortable. Help me understand. This is a little bit difficult for me. Please explain this to me. It is important that we do our forgiveness work, that we look at one another and that we actually go, oh, that person who irks me the most, and that we go, wait a minute. They're not who I think they should be. The moment we use that word should, we are not dealing in reality. That should be the sign number one. Anytime we use the word should or shouldn't, my usual thing is when I hear it, I go, no, no. I canceled it. Because the moment I hear that, oh, this should be like this. Our community should do this. The government should do that. The government should not do that. People should do this, should do that. The moment we are in the shoulds, we're shoulding on ourselves, and we're not in forgiveness. We're not dealing with the reality. And that's because and I'll put it in the I, and I'm speaking the I so that you can hear it for yourself as the I and own it, because the only way to get through it is to own it. Didn't Bobby last week say the only way to heal it is to feel it? And so if you're not allowing yourself to feel it, you cannot heal it. The idea is that I have ideas and thoughts and beliefs about who you need to be. And you're not. I don't even share my expectations of you with you so that you can even try to meet them. But I have these ideas and thoughts. I've made up things in my own mind about how things need to be. And when you don't live up to that, when you even have the characteristics to do that, I want to get angry and hurt and upset about it. And then I want to gossip and complain about it. The home association. The way things are run. The school system. The government. Politics. It is not, we don't have to go far from a little radius right here of Steel Beach to know what I'm talking about. And I'm not sure if some of the blank stares that I'm receiving is because I'm touching those points and you don't want to give it away that you identify, or if I've just, woo. But I'm speaking to you from that place of love that we can no longer engage in spiritual bypass, because our spiritual bypass, and that is meaning we're walking around as if everything is okay when it really isn't. It's okay to tell the of our experience. I had a great practitioner at Namaste who would always say that, tell the truth of your experience. It doesn't make you less spiritual. If you say, I'm struggling with this, these are the things that we get to work through, and we get to have an awakening. We get to awaken to our spiritual magnificence as a result of this. But we must speak truth. I would like to live this way, but right now, I'm stuck in judgment. Right now, I'm stuck complaining because I don't like the way things are going. That's the truth. I know where I want to be. I know the outcome that I'd like to experience. But I get an opportunity to say, this is where I am right now. Instead of, oh, it's all good. It's all fine. Everything is coming together for my highest good. That's the absolute truth. But in the meantime, while everything is coming together for my absolute good, I'm struggling. And it's okay to say that. It's okay. But we must own it. I got to be able to say, hey, I had these ideas and expectations of you. I thought you had these characteristics that you don't necessarily possess, but I'm the one responsible for those ideas and thoughts. I'm the one responsible for making that up about who I thought you were. And it doesn't make you any less of a person or a spiritual being either. What it does is it gives me the opportunity to own it and for me to know that I alone am responsible. And then I can free you. I can free you because I made it all up, Gina. Because I made it up. But how many of us are willing to lay down that ego shield, that mask, to just go, yeah, I messed up? To allow our bodies to tell us where it is. I love going to my masseuse because she goes, where do you store your pain? Where do you store your stress? Right? And so she begins to work within that area to begin to relieve the coagulation of the stress. Now, truly, stress doesn't just jump into my neck and shoulders. No, my belief, my outlook, when things are not going the way I think, here comes that word again, should go, is I tense. I tense. All of a sudden, my shoulders become my earrings because they're here. And I'm fashionably sporting my shoulders up at my ears. And when I practice forgiveness, when I recognize that people, places, and things do not possess the characteristics that I wish or want or need them to have. Wait a minute. Not there. I'm dealing with what is. And I'm able to take responsibility and kind of go, oh, there we go again. Using my imagination to create something that I don't want. When I can begin to channel and use my imagination to create the health and wholeness in my own body. When I can begin to listen to my body. You know, the body is said to be water, correct? And so, for a moment, think about a happy time. Maybe it could be as a kid, taking a vacation, being with your favorite person, whatever it is. Think of a happy time right now, right? Where do you feel that? Where do you feel that in your body? If you can actually allow yourself to feel that joy, where do you feel it in the body? Let's get a couple shout outs and I'll repeat them for those at home. So the chest, right, which kind of symbolizes like the heart center, right? Solar plexus And in the face, my smile, right? In my throat, in that joyous, right? Now, if you think about a bad time or a difficult time, a time maybe where there was conflict. Let's think about a time of conflict. As you think about that, where are you feeling that in your body now? In the stomach? Yeah, in the head. People are pointing here. And then even some folks are like, yeah, in that heart center conflict, right? So that goes to show you that when we're thinking about cause and effect, your body is the effect. That's where you feel the effect. So what is the cause? The thoughts. The thoughts. This is body, beloved. It is one mechanism. I know we didn't get the instruction manual on all of the cool features of our body, but here we are. And the cause and effect is that your thoughts actually manifest in your body. And so it is imperative for us to begin to recognize that even those thoughts when we're just kind of driving down the street, or those thoughts when we're cooking, or when we're kind of fixing something in our cars, that even those, what we might call unconscious, subconscious thoughts are creative and creating in our body temple. And so it is imperative. Now, some of you might go, well, Sunshine, I don't have time to be the hall monitor of my thoughts. Oh, there goes a negative thought again. Oh, what are you doing? Hey, here. You got to go to the dean. You're thinking negative thoughts. I get that. But there's nobody else in charge of your thoughts other than you. Come on. It's not going to be me. I'm not going to be the hall monitor of your thoughts. It can't be me. I got my own ways to go through. And sometimes they need real cleaning. Yeah. And so listening, just like it was very, very nice to find that one spot of joy, also take the time to find that one spot in our body temple that wants to give us a message. It might sound a little woo-woo, but it is one body. Your one body is the unique, unrepeatable way that God shows up. And are you listening to that God self? Are you forgiving? Are you letting go? Are you doing the work necessary to actually live in the realm of freedom, in the realm of joy, in the realm of peace, in the realm of love, like for real? Not for fake. Many of us don't ever get there because no one has ever said, stop it. I'm here today to say, stop it. Stop the spiritual bypass. Stop lying to yourselves. Stop lying to us. You get to live an amazing life by doing the work. And I know work is a 4-letter word. So I offer you the word of my mentor, Michael Beckwith, who said, it takes blissipline. Blissipline. Because when we are disciplined enough to do what is necessary to clear away the trauma, to clear away the stress, to clear away what has happened that is no longer happening, except that we keep replaying it over and over again and continuing to traumatize ourselves, that we get to shine a light on that and go, wow, that person who misused me or abused me or cursed me out, or that person who called me this name or that name or the other name, they're not who I wanted them to be. They don't possess the characteristics of who I wanted them to be. But it is my responsibility to let them off the hook because they are incapable of being who I imagine. See, it's my imagination. I imagine that a mother should be kind and loving, that a father should be kind and loving, that a priest should be kind and loving, that a woman should have the right to her own body and to make her decisions. I get it. I've endured pain. I've suffered that pain. And yet the only way to my freedom is for me to let it go. And not to just be like, oh, everything is fine, but for me to recognize that I imagined that people could be a particular not. I get to recognize and take responsibility that I made that up. And I get to free them for not being who I thought they should be. To free them for them not being who I wanted them to be, who I wish they would be. But there is a place within me that has never been hurt or harmed. There is a place within each and every one of you that is untouched. That is the place, the dwelling place of living spirit, which is in your body, which is the manifestation of God. And to the degree in which we begin to let go of the past, not just kind of like I let it go, but really do the work of forgiveness, it is to that degree that we begin to let go and release the dis-ease. My time is up here, but this is only the beginning. I wish we had another 4 weeks of the body, right? Before I was like, oh, are we done yet? But I wish that we could even expand upon this even more. And so it is for you, beloveds, to begin to ask questions, to do your work, to ask your body what needs to be healed, what needs to be released, and to learn to tap into a place within us that has never been hurt, that has never been harmed, and that has never, ever, ever known pain. That is our God-centeredness. It is right where you are. I invite you to discover it for yourselves, and you don't have to do it alone. That's why we're in spiritual community. This is my prayer for you. It is so, and so it is.